practicing a little. Got a concert coming up in a couple hours. Have no idea what I'm going to play yet. So I'm going to make this short today. It's Wednesday, April 7th, and as you figured out, we are done with Eric Clapton for a while. I haven't seen many takers yet on... Nobody's uploaded that. Come on, guys, get to work. And again, so I hope you enjoyed the pack of 9 and or 10 Eric Clapton tunes that are out there now, and just have fun working on them. I have two things I want to just go into real quickly. One is there's a cool thread going on about the right way to play things, and it's a issue that is I laugh too when I see these things like, no way, dude, that's not how you play it. If you can't play Pinball Wizard with your thumb wrapped around the bottom of the neck, you're not playing it right. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. So there are, every time a good artist plays a song, it's different. Sometimes all of a sudden, Pete might play that on a nylon string guitar, and he may not wrap his thumb around the neck, although we know Eric can do it. We've seen it in Tears in Heaven and Signe. So the real thing is, when I try to put a fingering together, you got to remember that most of these guys that we listen to and love and admire are learned by themselves there really wasn't as much formal instruction available when they were learning to play the guitar. And they just, through their own determination and high level of natural ability, that definitely helps. But that's not even the major factor. They have overcome some really bad habits and still can make something really musical. So when I try to teach something, I want to make sure that I give you the best choice that will help most people actually be able to play it, rather than the 2% that could do what Clapton does or what Mark Knopfler does. And again, all of these guys had a very high level of natural ability, and most of us don't. So the Tommy Emmanuels of the world, they're like, one of him comes along every 2,000 years or something, but we'll see. And again, some of my favorite guitar players have terrible habits. The song I was playing just a second ago, I don't see a pick handy, but it could be one of today's trivia questions. What was that I played at the top of the lesson? One of my favorite guitar players and musicians, but I hate the way he holds a pick. He holds it with 2 fingers, and he's got a very stiff wrist. Horrible technique. He's overcome it and has written and just created great stuff. So you can really do anything you want, but usually if you follow the suggestions I've come up with after years of messing with this, you have a better chance of success and being happy with the sound you're getting. So, okay, all right, enough. I got to get off the soapbox today. So I do just have one last thing, and that was yesterday's trivia question about the secret message on a George Harrison album. Mark came up with an answer. It wasn't the one I'm looking for, so I'll elaborate a little bit more on it. But he is right. There was an etching on the inside of that album, the Material World album of George Harrison's, Living in the Material World, that had some of his favorite phrases. George intentionally, on an album, put an audio file, a scrambled audio file, slowed down or sped up and run backwards at the end of an album, because people always accuse the Beatles of doing this. And so as a joke, he wanted to end an album. As the last song fades out, 10 seconds later, you hear a little that is a secret message that George put out there, because people had been thinking there were all kinds of secret messages in Beatles things. Much like somewhere in Stairway to Heaven, there's satanic stuff if you play a certain part backwards, or if you want to follow Dark Side of the Moon while you watch Wizard of Oz. But I digress. Oh well. So that's it for today. I got to get to practicing. I think this concert is supposed to be slack key and blues, so I think I'll be doing some Gary Davis. And maybe Blind Blake. Might even have to break out the vocals too for some of this stuff today. Anyway, again, if you're in Santa Clara at noon today, of course it's probably too late by the time you're seeing this, come see me. If not, I'll see you tomorrow.